Okay, so thank you very much for coming today. So today we'll be talking about a topic here, named building a web server with NGINX. Okay. Yeah, my name is Achmad Mardiansyah, and then I'm from GLC Networks, Indonesia. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, so this is our agenda today. Introduction, review some prerequisite knowledge. We talk about HTTP service because we are using we will create a web server, right? And then web server means it's a server that provides service for HTTP protocol. Okay, so it's again HTTP. So we need to know what the HTTP is, and then after that we will be talking about the NGINX itself. Yeah, so introduction. So we are GLC, Garda Lintas Cakrawala. We are based in Bandung. We do training and IT consulting. We do MikroTik mostly, Ubiquiti and Linux Foundation, and then some programming. We develop our own radios applications, and then we do regular event. This is me. My name is Achmad. I'm based in Bandung. I'm a user of many technologies, including networking, sysadmin, and programming. Okay, so if you have LinkedIn, we can connect here. Okay. Yeah. Next is about about our past experience. So mostly we are doing consulting. We develop network. Yeah, it's mostly related to ISP. Yeah, internet service provider as like a network integrator. Upgrade network integration and a kind of things like that. Okay, in several countries in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, in Australia as well. Okay, about the webinar itself, we started webinar since 2010. So guys, if you want to be a part of a presenter, you are welcome. Okay, and then for you guys, we have a chat box here. Please introduce yourself. At least we know where you're from. Okay. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, thank you for your response. Okay, so prerequisites. So we assume you already know how Linux how Linux is working. You know the Linux stuff, how to install the web server, and how to manage the packets. You know, ls, cd, mkdir, and also the HTTP protocol. Okay, so let's move on. So let's review. So we already know that when we talk about networking, we talk about the 7 OC layer and then its protocol. So we have a bunch of layers here, and then each layer has its own function. Okay, we have layer 1 to layer 7, and then on layer 7, it's the application layer, and then one of the application is the HTTP protocol here. Okay, so protocol is a set of rules for communications. Okay, so at least so that means actually when you are working as a network engineer, or something that is related to networking. So you like it or not, so you need to understand how the protocol works. Okay, so we have lots of protocols here. Okay, started from layer 1 to layer 7. So you don't have to attend any trainings or anything that kind of stuff. So by understanding how protocol works, it means that you already know how the networking works. Okay, so yeah, that's how the computer network works. Okay, and then so we know that there is a process called encapsulation. So data from upper layer will be wrapped with other data from other layers. So yeah, so the data that you send will be added. Okay, so this is the data that you send. Okay, and then this is what you actually send. Okay, if you're using MPLS, for example. So this is your data, only small. Yeah, so that's the concept of encapsulation. So you have a data and then wrap with another data, wrap with another data, and then wrap with another data, and then the purpose for that is for signaling. Okay, so if we just send hello, we don't know where to go. Yeah, so that's why we need those signaling in order to communicate to other parties, so that the packet that we send will be delivered into the correct address. Okay, so this is web application. So web application, web is another word for HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So what you do is you do here, this is you with your computer. Of course, we always use computer, even though if you are using a smartphone, yeah, that phone is smart because actually it's a computer. Okay, and then the performance of our phone today is much higher than the computer in 30 years ago. So web application is very simple. So it's based on HTTP protocol. So usually you you open a browser. Browser is the client. Okay, so you have HTTP, and then you send the request received by a web server. This is our focus today, especially with NGINX. Yeah, and then the server will give you HTTP response, and then you see the content. Yeah, as simple as that. Of course, the content will be delivered in HTML language. Okay, so this is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So basically, it's split into two parts: client and browser. No, I mean client and server. Sorry. Blah 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 blah. Client. So is depicted by a browser here. So yeah, actually, you can access the web server using a software called browser. Browser can be Firefox, Chrome, even there is a text-based, or if it is just HTTP, plain HTTP, you can just access it with Telnet. Yeah, so as simple as that. Okay, so web application protocol and components. Yeah, so when we talk about the HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, actually this is the stack of the protocol we are using. So this is the layer 7, yeah, L7. And then below we have layer 6, layer 5, all of them already combined into, all three layers is combined together into a software. Okay, and then we have a layer 4 here. Either it's a UDP or TCP. Yeah, so we use TCP because HTTP is using TCP. And then in order to make our communication secure, on layer 6, we are using TLS. This is for HTTPS, yeah, for encryption. And then we also combined with actually this is DNS, because DNS is layer 7. So these are the stack we are using. Okay, stack. Yeah, the DNS and then the UDP. So UDP and DNS, we use it for DNS for domain resolver, the DNS query. Okay, and then after that we use IP. Yeah, so those are the layers we are using, okay, and then the protocol we are using. So we just only use HTTP and then DNS, and then TCP and then TLS, and then IP. Okay, what about from the programming side? Okay, so the way we develop the HTTP is by using HTML. So the things that you downloaded from the web server actually is the HTML language, and then added by CSS, and then added by JavaScript. So these are the three things you downloaded from your web server. Okay. Also, if you are using you're accessing API, and then usually it's done by the it is done by the what is it? JavaScript. Yeah, yeah. So you have a website here, okay, and then in the website you have a component. For example, you have header, yeah, header over here, and then you have menu over here, okay, and then here you have a footer, okay, and then you have something over here that can be updated automatically. So usually this is called Ajax, okay, yeah. So that's how it works, okay. Yeah, so Ajax is using like a web API. So they are using, they're accessing some endpoint to provide a result for you. Okay, so here is the, yeah, here is the more complete information regarding how you access a browser, how you access a website. Okay, so this is you type www.example.com, and then we do DNS resolver, check if it is in our cache. If it is there, cache is available, and then we just use the cache. Otherwise, we use cache in browser, operating system, or ISP. If no cache, and then we have to do DNS lookup. Okay, blah 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 blah. Here DNS lookup, and then we got the IP address, for example, here, and then we use that IP address in our next phase. So HTTP is using TCP, so that's why we do a TCP initialization, sorry, a three-way handshake, we call it. Okay, so started from here, TCP three-way handshake. We send the client send sync, received by client, reply with sync ACK, okay, and then the client will reply with ACK, okay, and then done. After that, we send the HTTP request over the internet. Okay, so this is our request looks like. Okay, get something, and then this is HTTP version, and then we get the response from the server. So this is our response, either 1, 2, 3, 1xx, 2xx, 3xx, 4, and 5. Okay, so 5 usually is a server side, like a 504, 503. Yeah, so those errors are from server side. Usually, if the load is too high, and then usually 503 or 504. Okay, 404 usually is for application. For example, 404, right? It's very famous. Not found. So the resources is not found. 3 and 2. 2 is very. It's on about the connection. We use 200. Yeah, 200 means okay. Yeah, so we like to see this kind of reply or status. Okay, so again we send a request, and then we get the response, and then here are the response. Okay, status. So we receive all of the all of the code, HTML code, CSS code, JavaScript code, and then the engine in our browser will do rendering all of them. And then after that, this is the page you are seeing. Okay, as simple as that. Any questions so far? Yeah, no, okay. So this is how it looks like when you open a website. Okay, so this is a website page, and then here are the elements. Okay, elements. And then you should know that elements can be retrieved from different website. Okay, I mean different server, different web server. Okay, so for example, we have a layout CSS taken from here, image from here, page is from here. Okay, from server 1, but the video is from this website. Okay, so it's like if you are using WordPress, it's very common. You just put the URL of YouTube. Okay, so some of the access goes to the web server itself, but from some components or elements, it's taken from other websites like YouTube or other website like Vimeo or TikTok or whatever. Like also ads, right? Ads. Yeah, so in the beginning I was thinking, oh, okay, so when we provide ads, so it means that we have to create by ourselves. But yeah, that's what I thought in the beginning, but actually it's not. Okay, so it is from ad servers like Google Ads. So we just provide a section in our page that is coming from different source. In this case, is the ad server. All right. Yeah, so this is HTTP message. Okay, this is our request. Okay, and this is our response. Okay, so you can see request either get or post, and then here's the path. Okay, slash blah blah blah. So here's the path, and then here's the version of the protocol HTTP 1.1, and then here's the version of here's the reply version status code. See, 200 is which is very nice, and then here are the details. Okay, the time, and then here's the server last modified blah 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 blah. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Yeah, so when we provide the website itself, they are divided into two groups. Either it's a static or dynamic web page. So what's the difference? So actually what you downloaded is here, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, okay? But in dynamic website, those three things, so the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, will be generated automatically with a certain language like a PHP, or and then usually they put the data in a database. So we just retrieve the data. So we generate, yeah. So again, we generate those HTML, those pages with our language here, either PHP or Python or Java or many other components. Yeah, so this is how it looks like. Okay, serving the dynamic website. So dynamic website has a application. So it means that it's an application server. Okay, so this is you. So this is browser. Okay, so they are sending HTTP request to web server. In this case, is NGINX. Okay, if this the element, so you're accessing a website. Okay, like this. Yeah, and then here's the menu. Here's the header. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So if the data is static, and then it's just will be handled by the web server itself. Yeah. We call it static data request. Okay. It's like files or just text or CSS. Okay. CSS files, JavaScript files. And then it will be handled by the web server itself. The web server read the files and then give it back to you over here. So it's very simple. So what happened when you log into Facebook, for example? On Facebook, they have many elements, right? So here the web server. So web server cannot generate those kind of things. So that's why So the web server needs to talk to the application server. In this case, it's a PHP. Okay. And then from the PHP, we'll talk about the request to a data store, for example, in MySQL. Yeah, we use MySQL, but we use a PostgreSQL more. Yeah, so here's the website web container, other services, and then they will return your request, serve that response, and then go back, and then you get your response in HTML format. Okay. Oh, sorry. I forgot to update the links. Yes, sorry. It was unlisted, so that's why other people cannot see it. Sorry. Wait a moment. Yeah. The streaming was unlisted. Sorry. Oh no. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay. Make it public. Yes, publish. Yes. Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Now it's okay. Should be okay. Now it should be okay. Yeah, let me check. Now, yeah. Oh, finally. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back here. Yeah, so what about the server? So that's the concept. Okay, yeah, we know, blah. Yeah. Let's talk about the software. Okay, software to build them. Okay, so from the web server, okay, so we can use this a bunch of software. Okay, we have lots of selection. Okay, so that is here. Okay, so here's the stack. Stack. Yeah, so this is the internet. So this is how it looks like. The browser, you send a request and then you get the response. Okay, what are the software inside the server here? This is the server side, right? So we have usually we install the operating system here. Okay, so that's component number one. And then so you need to install a web server here. In this case, we are using NGINX. Okay. And after that, yeah, that depends. You can install a CGI language or application server here. Okay. So that's the modules to interpret the PHP language in your script. Okay. And then we have the database, as simple as that. Okay. So sometimes we call it LWDA, Linux web server database, and then application engine. Okay, so here, for example, LAMP, Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP, or LNMP, Linux, NGINX, MySQL, PHP. Okay, so let's do it. So NGINX. So NGINX is an alternative for a web server. Yes, and then it's famous for its light usage on resource. NGINX. So here we call it NGINX, not NGINX. Okay, and then supported by major distribution. So yeah. So actually, not much about NGINX because yeah, those functions of the web server is already described here. So and then the web NGINX is one of them, one of the alternative of a web server. Other alternative are Apache, LightDPD, Cherokee, for example. Yeah. So that's about the NGINX, and then let's do the okay, the practice. So before I stop, I will share here the some information here. So yeah, thank you for your attention. Yeah, in advance. Sorry, we're not done yet. Yeah, please submit your feedback here. Yeah, to get our future event will be available here. Please like our Facebook page here. Yeah, we post our news over there. Slides will be available on Slideshare. Discord is available too in Bahasa Indonesia. A recording will be available on YouTube. And then please stay tuned with our schedule. So now I'm still trying to open a web here. So let me check whether I can do it. 241. Okay, so I have CCA 240. Okay, so let me. Oh no, not this one. Oh yeah, 220. Okay, 220. Yeah, everything should be okay by now. Now I will open the web. Okay, let me share the whole screen. Oops. Can you see the terminal? Okay, so here's the IP 10.40.6.20. Yeah, it's applied. So now I can log in to the server. Okay, and then that's the IP address. Oh no, they are using different port. Okay. Yes, fingerprint. That should be okay. And then I will check on the web server. Let's find the browser. So 10.40.6. 220. So it's nothing there. We can check net start minus TUPLN. Okay, so these are the software available on the server. So sorry, these are the port that is available. Yeah, so you can see local address. So these are the ports available there. Okay, blah 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 blah. So there is no port 80 or 443. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why we need to install the NGINX. Well, actually, we need to update the attitude search NGINX. So yes, I'm using Debian here. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, so search NGINX is there. Okay. So let's do update. Save, upgrade. That's why. Okay. No package will be installed. Really? What's that? Okay. Yeah, it's done. So nothing to be afraid of. We are using the latest software in our operating system. So currently our stack here is the here. Okay, so currently what we have is, oops, oh, where do I put this one? Okay. Yeah, so currently what we have is here. Okay, so let's continue. So aptitude, install NGINX. Okay, yes. So I'm using Debian 11. Yeah, done. So the Debian is already, the NGINX already installed in Debian, yes. Okay, and then we check our port. Let's start minus TUPLN. Okay, so let's check whether the port 80 is open. So yeah, here, and then here. Okay, so this is the PID. Okay, here's the PID 1029. Yeah, on TCP 6, as I said, HTTP is using TCP. This is IPv4. V4, this is V6. Okay, and then V6 also here. So 000 means it opens in all IP addresses. Okay, so here it is, blah blah blah, and then the NGINX master. So here's the program name. Yeah. So NGINX already run. Okay, it's done. Let's try it. Okay, done. Welcome to NGINX. As simple as that. Okay, so let's go deep. So what are the configurations? Yeah, so for configuration, all NGINX configuration is located here. Blah 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 NGINX. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so etc NGINX. So those are the files for configuring NGINX. So as simple as that. So yeah, so in order to understand how NGINX works or features, you just understand how this configuration works. Okay, so the main configuration is here. Okay, and then here's the, so they are using, see, this is the directory. So for specific configuration will be placed here. This is for fastcgi.conf for external. And then see, NGINX, like Apache, they have they have modular development. Okay, so it's for the modules. So they have modules. Okay, you can see it here, and then that module can be turned on and off based on what is available here. And then from here to here, they're using link. Okay, in Windows, I think we can use it. We can consider as what is it? A shortcut. Yeah, shortcut. Yeah. And then here's the proxy parameters, SCJ parameters. Here. Okay, so we have two. Again, we have two sites enabled, sites available. Okay, so all available sites here, and then they can be turned on and off with link. Okay, so it's as simple as you can just link from here to here. Okay, same thing as snippets, USWGI. This is for Python, and then here's for Win UTF. Okay, let's try it one by one. Okay, let's check it. So ls-l conf .d. Oh, really? Oh, okay. So I'm not in the directory. Sorry, guys. This is what I don't like about this computer. See, when I just press space one time, see, the keyboard accept. I think it's twice. Oh, I don't like it. Okay, so this is conf. It's still empty. Okay, let's check modules available. Modules available. Okay, oh, it's still empty. Modules enabled, it's empty as well. Oh, it is there. Okay, so we have a geoconf, image filter, blah 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 blah. So, see. Oh, okay. So they are using different. See, from here, it goes to here. See. Okay. Yeah, they goes to they're going to different different directory. So what we have here? So we already have OS, operating system, and then we already have the server. Later, we will add the interpreter for PHP. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. And then for yeah, so this one goes to here. Okay, so it's not from modules available. Okay, that's fine. And then we have sites available. Okay, by default. And then we have sites enabled. Yeah, so here it is. Goes to site available default. Yeah, see this one. So we are in sites enabled, and then there is a file's name default, and then actually it's not a file, it's just a link to this one. Okay, so actually this is the real file. Okay, so what do we have? Yeah, what we can get from this config file. So sites. Oh, okay. So let's start with the main configuration, which is a cat nginx.conf. Right. Okay. So here's what we have. Oops. Oh, it's too big. Okay. Let me scroll down. Okay. So this one should be enough. Yeah. And then okay. So let's open. Yeah. So this is how it looks like at the NGINX configuration. Yeah, so NGINX configuration. So NGINX. So when you start a process of yeah, when you start process or software, okay, so you need to have a user that is running that software, and then the user is HTTP, sorry, www data. So this is a Unix user, okay. Where's the Unix user? You can check it on FastWD, yeah. So yeah, so here's the file, okay, and then inside contains what is it? A user, okay, and then one of the user is here. Oops, oops. Yeah. Okay, so here's the files, and then inside the file you have a content, and then one of the lines, one of the entry is here. So here's the user. Here's the user, and then here's the user ID, group ID. Here's the comment, and here's the home directory. And then you cannot log in with this user because shell is no login. So the user is there, okay, and then we use that server. We use this user. I'm sorry, to run the NGINX server. Okay, so that's how it looks like. Okay. Okay, let me prepare. Okay. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how it works. Okay. So let's go back to NGINX configuration. Yeah. So this is the user, and then here's the worker process. Yeah. So as you know, unlike Apache Prefork, so NGINX is using threaded. Okay, threaded process. Yeah. So thread. So thread versus process. Okay, so thread and process. So process is one process. Okay, but the thread is sub process. So this one is more lightweight. Okay, so for example, threading is when you use MySQL. MySQL is using thread. PostgreSQL they don't use thread, but they use process. So in the beginning, Apache is using process based. So every request we have to create a process, and then that is hard, not hard. That is, yeah, that's quite heavy, yeah, for resources, yeah, because you have to allocate RAM for that. Yeah, unlike for thread, you don't have to. So because you just only create one process and then you create sub process every time request coming. Okay, so it's much more resource saving if you are using NGINX. Okay, and then here's the PID. Okay, so if you check the PID is here. Okay, so let's run nginx.pid. Okay, oh yeah, we can try it. Cat nginx PID. Yeah, it's 129. So let's start minus tupln. So same, okay, same as here. So we cat this one, we got 129, and then the net start, and then here's the PID with nginx. So they are similar. Oops. And they are similar. Okay, so yeah, that's the nginx. What else? Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, here's the log. Okay, so if you want to troubleshoot something on your application, here's the place. Here is for SSL. Yeah, that's the SSL. Okay, what else? MIME types, server tokens. Yeah, this is when you access. Usually there is a footprint or fingerprint that is saying that okay, your server is NGINX or whatever. So you can turn it off here. Sending files, no push, blah, blah, blah. Here's for gzip, if you want to compress your connection so that you can save more bandwidth. Yeah, includes here. So this is like a PHP. You can turn on other gzip compression parameters here. Also, you include here, include there, and then after that, we can also take a look at the sites enabled with the default. Yeah, here it is. Okay, let's do start. So server listen 80. So as I said, yeah, they are listen on port 80. If you turn on SSL, you just uncomment this one. Okay, very easy. What else? Yeah, also they already provide you here, some configuration for SSL. It's a self-signed certificate is here. What else? Index, yeah. So when if you have index HTML, index.php or whatever, you can put them here. Okay, so because we want to run PHP, I guess we need to update this one. Okay, we can do it later on. Server name, we just use default name. Here's the location. Okay, web root directory. If you're using PHP, this is the thing that you need to uncomment. Blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's another files for other configuration. So let's update the files here. Okay, I use Vim, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so here we can see that the root, the web root is var www HTML. And then here we can see, we can just add at the end or here, index.php. Yeah. Okay, simple as that. After that, you just reboot, not reboot, the restart. Yeah, start the NGINX, done, and then you just refresh. Okay, so next step is you install the PHP. Yeah. Okay, so aptitude, install PHP. PHP, PHP VM, for example. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Download the files and then install the package. Okay, so we will create a PHP here. So I assume you already know some of the PHP command. Okay, and then here we assume you just create one file to test whether the PHP is working. So we know that the files, the root files is here for www.html. Okay, and then we do index.php. Yeah, and then php info, then done. Okay, so that's the very famous PHP command, php info. Yeah, and then we can check them here, index.php. Yeah, so so I can access the PHP because the what is it, the web server doesn't know how to treat this file. So they're asking that, okay, so you're accessing PHP, yeah. So I will ask you to download the files instead of displaying on the web browser. Okay. So it's already there. So it means that the NGINX here doesn't support PHP yet. Okay, so let's check the PHP. Okay, so there is no port for PHP, but so there is a PHP FPN here. And then the status is here. Okay, it's still running. So this is a PHP application server. Okay, so we need to talk. We need to talk to the PHP. So again, so here's the request. Request is received by web server, and then web server talk to PHP. PHP will return back to the web server. So the way our web server is talking to PHP is by using this socket. Okay. So in Unix we have there are two ways for communication between application. First is using socket if both are in the same server socket, or we can use a TCP socket, either TCP socket or here I can call it, what is it, the file socket, yeah, socket, yeah. So those are the files. Okay, so if TCP, and then we have to define TCP address. Okay, so let's update our default. Huh? Nothing? Really? Ah, yeah. So I'm in var www.html. NGINX sites enabled default. Yeah. Okay, so we need to enable the PHP. Okay, PHP is there. And then, yeah, here it is. Okay, so we tell the NGINX that, okay, so if I want to handle PHP, okay, so here's open bracket, here's the close bracket. I will include the snippets here. Okay, and then I will talk to PHP using this socket. Okay. Okay, so here's the command. If I want, if I'm handling, if there is a so if if there is a file with the PHP, okay, and then here's the configuration. Okay, configuration for PHP. And then I will pass, okay, I will pass the processing to Unix socket, sorry. So the name is Unix socket. So you have two options, either Unix socket or TCP socket. That depends on your configuration of PHP. So, okay, I'm using a Unix socket here. So there is a possibility that, okay, you have one PHP, and then you have NGINX, 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 okay? And then you have database here. Okay. Yeah, so PHP in different server. This is different server, different server, different server. Okay, yes, it's possible by using this a socket. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's all our change. Okay, let's save it and then restart. NGINX restart, and then, oops. Slash index.php. Yeah, it's working now. See? So what do they say? Okay, so this is PHP file. Okay, blah, 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 blah. See, we are using fast CGI, blah, blah, blah. Here's the configuration, blah, blah, blah. What else? Yeah, so here are the PHP information. So if you want to add more modules, for example, here we don't have MySQL, right? Do we have MySQL here? No. Control F. MySQL. Do we have that? No, we don't have that. Yeah, the module is available, but it's not activated yet. Yeah, so it means that we need to install yeah, here PHP MySQL, for example. Yeah, see, you want to continue? Yes. Okay, blah blah blah. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So actually, there is because we are making a modification on PHP, right? So that's why what we need to restart is the PHP, not the NGINX. So we need to restart the PHP FPM. Yeah, it's already there. So when we access, we should see a new modules here for MySQL. Okay, you can see it there. See, MySQL I, blah, 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 MySQL ND. Right, so yeah, that's all for tonight. Any questions? Any questions? So hopefully you can follow what I'm doing here. Okay. Any questions? Hello. Well, if there is no questions, I think it's time to photo session. Okay, please turn on your camera.
Good evening.
Hello. Good
Hello.
evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So just please turn on your camera so that we can have a photo session here.
I'm sorry that my camera is out of order. I think sorry for tonight, but I want to join your webinar. So I'm very glad to join this
Okay.
webinar.
Oh, okay. 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 No worries. Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from Wonosobo, Mr. Hamami.
Oh, Wonosobo. Okay. From
okay. Thank you so
Wonosobo
much.
is Java, Central Java? I forgot.
Central Java.
Central Java. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. What about others? No camera?
Yes, I'm sorry. There's no camera in my
Oh,
smartphone.
many
It's a
people are
old
shy.
smartphone.
Okay,
Yes,
never
I'm
mind. I
shy.
will count 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, and then 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, hopefully this webinar has can give you some insight about how NGINX works. Okay, as you can see, the installation of NGINX is not that hard as long as you understand what you're doing. Yeah, and also because NGINX usually is installed on what is it, on Linux. So that's why yeah, you need to understand how Linux works. Okay, the command, the concept, and then so on and so forth. All right, so again, thank you very much. And then see you in the next webinar. Okay, good day, good day, everyone.
Okay.
And then see you later. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.